You can be good-looking, successful, genuinely kind, and still leave people feeling quietly distant after every interaction, not because something is wrong with you, because of patterns so small and so ordinary, you've never once thought to question them. You're probably doing at least 2 right now. Habit 1. You make people feel interviewed, not met. You ask good questions, you follow up, you're curious, but you never share anything back. The other person walks away, having given you their whole story and knowing almost nothing real about yours. Psychologist Arthur Aaron at Stony Brook University found that reciprocal self-disclosure, both people sharing, not just one, is the strongest predictor of genuine felt connection. One person exposed, the other safe. People feel that imbalance, even when they can't name it. Here's where it came from. Sharing yourself once cost you something, so you learned to ask, rather than offer, to stay in control of how much of you was in the room. The questions aren't the problem. The silence behind them is. When did you last share something real before someone asked you for it? Habit 2. You over-explain yourself before anyone questions you. You made a decision, a simple one, and before anyone responds, you've already delivered a whole paragraph justifying it. Psychologist Erica Boothby at Cornell University found that people who preemptively justify their decisions are consistently rated as less confident, not more, even when the reasoning is completely sound, because confidence doesn't justify itself unprompted, it just decides. Here's where it came from. You grew up in rooms where your choices needed defending before anyone even challenged them. The explanation was protection. It just doesn't look that way from the outside. Next time you justify a decision nobody challenged, notice that. That's the habit. Running. Habit 3. You qualify every compliment before it lands. That's actually really good. I don't usually say this, but the compliment is real. But the qualifier arrives first and takes the edge off everything that follows. Researcher Vanessa Bones at Cornell University found that hedged compliments produce measurably weaker emotional responses than direct ones, sometimes no better than saying nothing at all. Here's where it came from. Unconditional approval felt suspicious, so you learned to hedge your own generosity before anyone else could. The qualifier was a way of not being wrong about someone. It's also a way of never fully giving them what you meant to give. Habit 4. You fix instead of staying. Someone shares something painful. Before they finish, you're already reaching for the solution, and they feel almost immediately slightly more alone than before they told you. Psychologist James Pennebaker at the University of Texas at Austin found across decades of research that unsolicited problem solving reduces feelings of being understood. What people need first isn't a solution. It's evidence that someone can sit inside their pain without needing to escape it. Here's where it came from. Sitting with discomfort without doing something felt like failing them. So you moved to fix because staying still didn't feel like care. Can you stay with someone's pain for 60 seconds before reaching for the answer? Habit 5. You shrink yourself to keep the temperature down. You have an opinion, you keep it. Someone says something wrong, you laugh along. A decision you disagree with, you let it go. Every single time. People stop feeling like they know you because the version of you in the room is always slightly edited. Psychologist William Swan at the University of Texas at Austin found through self-verification theory that people consistently rate others higher on liking and trust when they express genuine disagreement than when they agree with everything. A person who agrees with everything isn't a person, they're a mirror, and you can't connect with a mirror. Here's where it came from. Having a distinct opinion once cost you something. The room turned, so staying smooth felt safer than being real. When did you last disagree with someone directly? Habit 6. You surface your pain mid someone else's. They're telling you something hard, and somewhere in the middle, not maliciously, your own story surfaces. The conversation shifts, and they're now holding both of yours. Researcher Niro Sivananthan at London Business School found that redirecting someone else's disclosure back to your own story is the most commonly reported reason people feel unheard, even in conversations with people who genuinely care about them. Here's where it came from. Your pain rarely got held for long, so you learned to insert it wherever there was an opening, because openings didn't stay open. The habit isn't selfishness, it's hunger, but it lands the same way from the outside. Habit 7. You test people before you trust them. Small situations, low-stakes moments to see how someone responds before committing anything real. Most people fail tests they don't know they're taking, not because they're untrustworthy, because the criteria were set by a previous version of your life that had nothing to do with them. Attachment researcher Philip Shaver at UC Davis identified hypervigilant attachment, the nervous system running a constant background scan for signs of betrayal. His research showed that people with this pattern consistently screen out trustworthy people using criteria built for environments that no longer exist. Here's where it came from. Trust given freely once ended badly, so you stopped giving it freely. Habit 8. You're more comfortable being needed than being loved. This one is underneath most of the others. You show up when people are struggling. You help, you fix, you carry, you stay. But when someone just wants to be near you with no agenda, something in you gets restless. Like you're not sure what you're for if you're not being useful. Researcher Mario Michelenser at Bar Island University found that people who organize relationships around being needed rather than wanted report consistently lower relationship satisfaction and higher emotional exhaustion, and that this pattern is most common in people whose early experience of love felt conditional on performance. Being needed feels stable. It comes with a clear function. Being loved feels fragile. It depends on someone choosing you for no practical reason. Here's where it came from. Love felt conditional. It came and went based on performance, but being needed felt consistent. So you built your value around usefulness instead of presence. People can feel the difference between someone who wants to be with them and someone who needs to be needed by them. One feels like love. The other feels like a transaction neither person agreed to. When someone gives you time or care with nothing required in return, how does that actually feel? None of these habits make you a bad person. Every single one developed because something in your environment made it necessary. They were intelligent adaptations. They kept you safe in situations that required them. The question isn't whether you're flawed. It's whether the person these habits were built to protect still needs protecting the same way, or whether they've been quietly keeping people at a distance you never actually wanted. You can be good looking, successful, genuinely kind, and still be running habits in every interaction that make people feel slightly further from you than they want to be. Now you know what they are. Which one landed? Drop it in the comments. The one you felt before you finished reading it.